Hello, welcome to my show, Olio. My name is Susan Rushton, and before I go any further, I need, as always, to explain what oleo means. One definition is that oleo is short for olla podrida, which is Spanish for rotten bowl or rotten pot, which I always just get such a kick out of. It's a Spanish-Portuguese dish with essentially everything in the world in it. Pork in all its iterations. Bacon, sausage, pig's ears, I'm assuming. Also chicken, chickpeas, cabbage, carrots, beans, pig's ears, as I said, onions, garlic, as I said, everything essentially. Pretty much everything you could think of except catfish on a stick and Fruit Loops cereal. That's one definition. Another definition is that olio is what comes in between acts of a melodrama. So you might have somebody juggling, you might have somebody singing, you might have somebody telling a story or doing a skit, but none of it has anything to do with anything else, and none of it has anything to do with the melodrama. So in other words, it's apples, oranges, and a monkey wrench. So welcome to my monkey wrench. Today my guests are people I adore. I don't know them very well, but I know about them. I know more about them than I know them. And they are a fabulous couple, great for this place, this community of Auburn. They are two of the many who make Auburn what it is. And I hope I don't get teary when I'm talking to them. I imagine I will be laughing a lot and getting teary. My guests today are Larry LaVerne and Paula Celick. Mm-hmm. Friends, thank you very much for joining me.
You're very welcome.
Oh,
well, thank you
Our
for
pleasure.
having us.
And if you are interested in learning more about Larry, please email him, post84laverne@gmail.com. And you can also, just because, WAA.com. That's Wreaths Across America. With Paula, Crow, Paula 0211 @gmail.com. And the website to find out more about her is auburnveteransparade.org. And since I just gave you that website, Paula, mm-hmm. You organized, you directed, you conducted the Auburn Veterans Parade last year.
Yes, I did for the first time.
And you're doing it again.
And I'm doing it again this year.
Thank you.
But it's a compilation of a lot of people out there.
Yes, but there you are,
Yeah.
way at the top.
But I'm the one that gets to tell the first group to step off and get down that road and to Central Square on time.
Uh-huh.
And then I get to tell the next group when it's time for them to step off. And that's fun. I just get to see everybody, and some people I don't get to see for ages until they're
they are in a parade.
In a parade, in their car or with their uniform, or
in their band or whatever.
It's so nice to see. And I was in the parade several times before I actually...
Now you're not in it anymore.
No, I am. I'm the last one.
Okay.
When the parade is all done, I'm the last car that comes through. Yeah. But it's so nice to see all of those veterans and the old veterans that are slowly going away.
Mm-hmm.
I think what's important, though, Lynn, make sure you know that she actually is the one that receives the entry forms from all of the different people and has to go through and figure them out and align them and everything. Tell a little bit about that, because that's a big, big job.
Well, that's the...
Isn't he a nice guy?
Oh, yeah, he gives me these intros. Thank you, Larry. Anyway, the website that I gave you has the application for anyone that wants to be in that parade. It's free. We don't charge for it. But I need the application so I know where to put you, and then the MC at Central Square knows who you are
Mhm.
when you get there
Yeah.
and can introduce you to the crowd.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just there.
Somebody there.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes somebody.
Yeah, right. Here
Yeah.
comes another car.
Yeah.
But anyway, this year we're honoring the United States Air Force on their 75th anniversary.
Wow.
And so we have an honor guard coming over from Beale Air Force Base. We hope. We keep fingers crossed,
Yeah.
always.
But they said
so-
yes, probably.
Well, there's
We
a
will-
lot of paperwork to get
Mm.
military personnel
Uh-huh.
off of a base
Uh-huh.
to be in a civilian atmosphere for anything like
Yeah.
this. So I'm pretty sure it's
But you're
gonna work.
used to that.
Yeah. Well, I was married.
You both know.
Yeah, yeah. I was married to a full colonel for 33 years, and I'm pretty used to military
Uh-huh.
activities and how they manage. Although I didn't know a colonel was better than a senior master sergeant when I first met him, so he had to explain that to me.
Yeah.
But then this guy was in the Air Force too.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
So it's going to be a great parade. We always give. Oh, I should have brought some medals. We have these medals struck for our veterans, and they're very nice. They're heavy metal, and they've got the theme on them. They come on a lanyard, and we give them to all the veterans that show up. We have 500 of these things struck every year.
Mm.
And the veterans that are there, even the senior facilities will bring carloads of veterans from their facility over, and we make sure that they get there, however many are showing up, they all get one. And then after the parade ends at the armory at the fairgrounds, then we have a free meal. It's sort of a lunch kind of. It's not a lot. This year it's pizza, soda
enough.
pop, water, and chips. That sort
Okay.
of thing. And we'll be handing out those medals to any of the veterans that didn't get them on the parade route or
Yeah.
in the parade. So.
Now, is Larry going to be in the parade or in your
Yes.
car?
He's going to be with the Reads Across America
Reads Across
float.
America float.
Uh-huh.
I have a
Okay.
big speaker, and I have patriotic music that I blast out as we go down, and I got all my regalia on, and I got veterans and Cub Scouts in the float, and we got all our banners, and we go down. In fact, this last year we got best 501c3 float in the parade.
Charitable.
Cool.
Yeah, it was in
Yeah.
your newspaper.
It was in the
Well, what a surprise.
Yeah.
Auburn newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how long have the two of you been in Auburn?
Well, I've been in Placer County since 1967.
Okay.
That was another life for me that brought me to Forest Hill. I was in Forest Hill for 40 years, and then my husband, late husband, and I moved to Auburn when his health was failing.
Mm.
And that was in 2006, and
Okay.
I've been here since then, and my late husband passed in 2010. My 8th grade boyfriend shows up on YouTube. No, what was it?
Facebook.
Facebook. 2 years later,
Huh.
and that's
And so you have a history.
yeah, well, a little one.
Well, no.
It was a big one.
8th grade.
That was,
Well,
that was the
Yeah, we went through 8th grade, high school, and into college as very close friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were very close. In fact, when I would go out and do my track team things, these girls kept following us around, and I wasn't sure why, but it turns out it was I was supposed to be the boyfriend. I just, what do you know when you're that age? But yeah, we've known each other since 8th grade. In fact, I have a newspaper clipping that shows a picture, and it says, "Seen at the 8th grade banquet, Larry LaVerne and Paula Crow." Crow was her maiden name
Okay.
at that time.
Okay.
So it's really cute. And
Yes.
Yeah.
and then what happened was I had after high school I went into the Air Force, and I got up into Abilene, Texas, at SAC base there for 4 years. Got out of that, eventually went to college, and eventually ended up working for Boeing Aircraft. And started off as a draftsman. I have a degree in drafting, and then went into IT management, computers, and did that from 1984 to 1999 when I retired. And
Now,
so,
did you sing during any of this?
actually, the last
You may ask why I'm asking that.
well, the last 3 years of that, I met a lady who was a Celtic singer professional and happened to live only a couple of houses away from me, and so she started teaching me to sing Celtic because I had a jazz band and a Dixieland band. I've been a musician since I was 8 years old. So it fit really well because I love to sing, and she taught me, and I've been singing ever since. Celtic, jazz, country now, and Paula sings with me.
Yeah.
And when she's not singing, she's managing the sound equipment
sound
and
man.
that sort of thing. So yeah, Crow Island music is what we call ourselves,
Yeah.
and we've been doing it since many years now.
Many.
Well, the Crow Island music doesn't have anything to do with my maiden name,
No.
Right.
which actually was a kind of a bone of contention with my kids in the beginning, because they thought, oh, you must have known him before when Arnie was still alive. I said, no, the Crow Island. Explain what Crow Island is.
Well, Camino Island, I have a beach home on Camino Island. And
Where is Camino Island?
that's just north of Seattle, about 60 miles out of Stanwood, Washington,
Okay.
right there on the Puget Sound, and a beautiful place. But the island was originally called Crow Island by the Indians before the white man came in, and I needed a name for my Dixieland band. I had some really good professional players, and the idea of Crow Island music just snapped with me, and that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our group now, I just did a gig up in Grass Valley for the Gold Country Celtic Society. Hour of Celtic, Irish and Scottish music for those folks.
Yeah.
And we do that volunteer basis for a huge number of care facilities. We've got, right now, I just inherited 20,000 new karaoke files.
Oh my!
20,000.
How exciting!
Oh, yeah.
And so
It's fun.
we can sing for a long time.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
get him started.
Anyway,
Okay. Actually, I have.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, we love karaoke.
Yeah. And so you are singers,
Well,
and your friends,
yes.
and why
What?
I don't. I actually I know why you live in Auburn. You live in Auburn because you love Auburn.
Yes.
Because you know what you can do, and you know that there's stuff to do, and you love it. You love being here, and it's
location is wonderful. I'm close to my children, and we're close enough to the ocean so that we can go there when we need a dose of ocean air.
Salt water.
Salt water, and because we grew up in Huntington Beach,
Uh-huh.
and we just can't take that salt water out of us. you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
So, and besides, he feels more at home when he's got a lot of space.
Mhm.
Fortunately, my house has an acre of land
Oh,
that
good.
goes with it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
All right.
Yeah.
So, but you are there's music and
And.
it's the ocean and
Yeah.
and laughing together.
That's right.
And there's this focus on veterans,
yes.
the military and veterans. Why?
Well,
I know why. Tell me.
if I can,
Go ahead.
I'll
Oh,
just
please,
start
you go
this
right,
off.
yeah.
Being in the Air Force was very good to me. I got my education, helped pay for that, my houses, VA loans and Calvet loans, because I lived in Fullerton and Ontario, all Southern California, until I actually ended up moving up to Auburn. And you ask why move to Auburn? Auburn reminded me of Huntington Beach back in the 50s. Laid back, quiet, traffic
really
jam
does.
was when 4 cars met at the stoplight at the same time. It was marvelous. Easy driving, things were close by, the beautiful weather. I love gold prospecting, as you know. And,
Oh yes, I forgot to mention
there's
that.
a lot of gold around here, and in 15 minutes I can be out there digging for gold, and so that's a big passion for me.
Yes.
Music and gold. But helping the veterans because of the reward I got from being in the military, and the fact that I now have good health, I have a little bit of money, not a lot, but a little bit, and a lot of time, and that's sharing that. And I think Paula has the same thing, but she doesn't have as much time as I have. But yeah,
One would never know.
I don't know what he means by that.
yeah, well, seeing some of these people, like 2 days ago, I was out working with an elderly widow of a World War II veteran, and they are so happy just for a visitation.
Yeah.
The fact that I may bring food or install a medical device or mow the lawn is secondary to the fact that that they're just happy to see somebody.
That's right.
And Paula is really good with the lady veterans. And tell them about that, what you do for them.
I kind of started getting phone calls from the widows, and or maybe not widows, but their husbands are
away.
100, or they're 100% disabled, and she doesn't know what to do. And this one couple, unfortunately, he did pass away not too long ago, but he was a Vietnam veteran, and he was 100% disabled, and there was no question in anyone's mind that this man was 100% disabled. But when COVID struck, VA cut his disability to 40%, and they couldn't figure it out why that happened. And I was beside myself. In the meantime, they needed food, so I started buying them food. I didn't know what else to do, so I just, and then I became the secretary for the Placer County Veterans Advisory Council. I met the VSO, the Veteran Service Officer for Placer County, and this man worked wonders with his little laptop.
Yes.
He said if a veteran can't come to him, he'll go to them. And I went out after the meeting.
Go.
I said, I'm going to put your feet to the fire. This is what we're going to do. And so we made an appointment with this couple. We went out to their apartment in Roseville, and he sat there and we were there for an hour, and we were talking with them, and they were giving us answers. And then it became evident why he dropped through the cracks in the VA. Because he's a human being, and so is she, and he had spent his time in the military, in Vietnam, and these Vietnam vets have specific needs that their benefits are being added to their lives to extend their livelihood. But he was tied up with a specific doctor that he liked a lot, and he didn't know that the VA had lost track of him. And the VA needs to know.
So I would like to move past this. This is vital.
Yeah.
And this is not unusual for you to be doing
That's
this.
right. Yeah.
This is what you do.
That's
this
what
is
I
one
do.
of
Yes.
several things you do is
Yeah.
helping
Well,
people.
I just can't stand to see people who need something and they're not putting me on. These are real live people that are suffering. And if I can help, I will. And if I can't do it, I'll find someone that can. And so, yeah, it eventually he was reinstated back up to 100%.
Oh, wonderful.
So,
success story.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them out there that don't know what the benefits are that they can have because they have a DD-214, and that's their
What is this? A DD
214.
A DD-214, and one finds that.
That's when you're released with an honorable discharge.
Okay.
From the military
So they
service.
have access. They know if they
DD
know where they put their
That's
honorable
right.
discharge.
And you know what I'm afraid of? Some of these may have lost their DD-214s in these fires. But people like Larry know how to work the system to get those back, to get a replacement for that so that they can...
Let me talk to you a little bit about that because it fits right in with the American Legion Post 84 here in Auburn.
Which we haven't talked about yet. But
well, it's a wonderful group of people.
So tell that the American Legion Post.
It's American Legion. It's the Richard W. Townsend Post 84 American Legion for Auburn, and we have a little over 200 members, both ladies and gentlemen. We started up in 1919 here in Auburn, so it goes way back.
Yeah.
Richard W. Townsend is our namesake, and he was a young man who lived here in Auburn. He was killed in France during World War I and interned at Meuse-Argonne Forest there, or some American cemetery there.
In France.
We were able to contact them and get his photographs of his tombstone and pictures of his death certificate and all that sort of stuff. So we have a pretty good history. And what we do have is we have what we call a post-service officer. I'm acting post-service officer because I'm also the vice commander, and you can't have two positions at the same time. And getting a volunteer for the post-service officer is difficult because it's very, very time consuming. I spend 3 to 5 hours a day, 12 days a week.
12 days a week.
12
Yes,
days a
that's
week,
what
it
it
feels
sounds
like
like. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, working with veterans and low income and that sort of thing. And as Paula says, I have a huge database that I utilize to find out who to contact. I don't have to know anything. I just have to know who does know the information, and that's my job. Get them in contact with the people that can help.
And this is not unusual for your organization. And
No.
the organization, again, is the
American Legion Post 84,
the American
Auburn,
Legion
California.
Post 84, and there's a Post 83, there's a Post 1, and a Post 85, probably. And this is what the organization does. It helps veterans.
That's one of the things to do. We also support Boys State and Girls State. We support the Colfax Railroad Days. Paula and I go out there, and we've set up our
What a
booth.
surprise.
Set up our booth there just to get information out to people. Cruise Night. Reads Across America, we're big supporters of Reads Across America. Veterans Day Parade, we have a lot of our post folks working with that, decorating the float and that sort of thing. And then we do put out a monthly newsletter, about 7 or 8 pages in that.
Do you write that?
Yes.
I was being funny.
We are.
It's not funny.
Yeah. I'm the chairperson for the Placer County Veterans Advisory Council, and I work with all of the major veteran players in the county: VFW, American Legion, Vietnam Veterans Association, Association of the U.S. Army, etc., etc. Auburn Aviation Association, we're big supporters of that. Elks Lodge, Paul and I have been officers, and we still are active members. In fact, we'll be there tonight. And the Veterans Day Parade.
Yeah.
And last of all, my big passion, gold prospecting and music. That's it in a nutshell.
In a large nutshell.
Yeah.
Several
Sorry
nutshells.
about that.
Yes, right.
That's not at all surprising to me, because I whenever I'm promoting Silver Screen, auburnsilverscreen.com, at the
The cruise night.
cruise night, on the last Friday of the month. No. Second Friday.
Second.
From March, no, April, no, May through
through
October. September. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's a kick
Yeah.
to be next to you.
Oh.
It is
Well,
a kick.
It's fun being next to you too.
Good.
Yes. I've enjoyed getting to know you better.
Yes.
And we were together at the chef's cooking thing.
Yes, we were.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The church.
Our split
Grace-
pea soup
Yes.
was great.
Yes, it was.
What were you? Oh, you were serving.
I was serving the best cupcake,
Cupcakes.
chocolate chip cupcakes
yeah,
in the world.
those were good.
Yes, they were.
Very good. So,
Yes.
yeah. In fact, I just took a photograph of the little thing they set on our tables, that said American Legion Post 84, split pea soup, cook, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I can put that in a newsletter along with, I've got pictures of that, of course.
Good.
And put that right in my newsletter.
Yeah.
Because I like to tell our post members and others, what are we doing?
Yes.
What's our post doing?
We're doing a lot.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot.
Yes.
We're staying pretty
Well,
busy.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, and it's clearly because you love the organizations you're involved with.
Yes. Well,
You,
yes. The Wreaths Across America, I started in 2014, actually. We had our
2015.
first ceremony in 2015.
yes,
Because I didn't know anything about it until I laid my first wreath at my late husband's place.
graveyard.
Down in Dixon.
Uh-huh.
He's down in Dixon. And I thought, wow. He came along, we had time to chat, and that's how it got started. I said, why don't we do that here?
Hmm.
And they didn't do it here. So
And now they do.
and now they do.
Thank you.
Yes.
And it's getting more
Yes.
popular, more
It-
well known
it is,
every
yes.
year.
Mhm.
That's WAA.com, Wreaths Across America, where the goal is to put a wreath on every veteran's grave.
Yes.
Can I
Yes.
add something to that she's very shy about this, but since that time...
But since you're not shy,
No,
you're
I'm not
perfectly
shy at all.
happy.
She actually was able to influence other groups in other areas to start the process. For instance, Forest Hill does a Wreaths Across America
Good.
ceremony. The American Legion up there does that.
Oh,
Also,
Grass-
I think was
Grass Valley.
Grass Valley.
And Newcastle now.
And
has-
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
it's slowly
It's
spreading,
growing, yeah.
and that's the
That's
beauty
wonderful.
Yeah. So anyway, it's fun to watch it
of it. Yeah.
grow. like
And
that,
and as a person who does her own stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it's fun to watch it grow.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to know that one is responsible for it,
Yeah.
or at least in large part responsible for
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
and you get gratitude.
Well, in my own way, most people don't even have a clue who I am or who I was. I'm a. Who did you used to be? One of those people. But that's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
I love this community. It's wonderful, and it's worth giving back to.
Oh yes,
So, yeah.
yes.
Can I make real quick? I know a couple of organizations that I'd like to mention besides American Legion, which of course I really love, but the Auburn Elks Lodge is a big supporter of so many things, and they even have a veterans committee that donates money and funds and people
Yeah.
and help out with that. The Auburn Aviation Association, they do a lot in terms of scholarships and getting these youngsters involved in flight and that sort of thing. SAL, the Sons of the American Legion, we've got a chapter here, or a squadron
Okay.
here
Yeah.
also. And so there's a lot of organizations that are supportive of
Oh, yeah.
the veterans of
Yes.
across America
That's great.
Yeah.
and their community. And I
Yes.
love them for that.
Yes. So,
Okay.
I'm thrilled to have you on. Thank you very much for joining me,
Okay.
Larry LaVerne and Paula Celick,
Thank you.
my dear
Yes.
friends.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. We
yes,
are friends.
Yes, we
thank
are. And people I admire. So, thank you very much for watching. And I will see you again.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.